Welcome back to the Scale Model Podcast channel, and tonight we've got a first of two very special reviews from Horizon Models, and I first want to thank Tony for sending me these all the way from Australia, and you can reach them at horizon-models.com. And we've got the first of two real space kits. The first one we're going to do the review of is the Convair SM65D Atlas, and then the next part we're going to do the Mercury Redstone. But tonight we're going to focus on the Atlas. So as you can see, quite a good box and pretty cool artwork. I'm actually going to put it sideways so you can appreciate the entire box in one shot. Beautiful artwork on this side, and also on the other side there is some similar artwork with some of the schemes you can make. This is a side-loading, top-loading box, very secure. These came through the mail very well, all in one piece, went very well. So yeah, this will be my first real space model I've built, probably, that I can think of. Now, maybe I built a shuttle when I was much, much younger, but I'm really looking forward to these. These are really fascinating me. So first of all, we should say it just comes with the missile, doesn't come with the launch tower. But yeah, kind of cool. So this is actually known as the Convair SM65D Atlas. It's the later D model of the A variant that was recently on display at the Canada Science and Technology Museum in Ottawa. It differs three different payload options to choose from: Mark II, Mark III, and Mark IV re-entry vehicles, and the decals are provided by Microscale with three options and extensive stenciling. So let's get right to it right away. So as I say, this is just kind of an inbox review as I received it, and we'll have a look. So first and foremost, the bags are 3 sprues, very well bagged, all individually wrapped. I have taken the bags off the other 2 sprues just to save time, but they come off very easily removable. So we'll just take this one out and we'll go from there. So this is the first sprue. This is obviously the side of the missile, some of the base. Not a huge part count, but very nice, very finely molded detail, very crisp, I believe the correct word is. Very, very cool, easily marked, everything's nicely labeled. Some very fine pieces up there. But yeah, it's a good size. You don't realize how big these things were in 72nd scale. And then when you see this, and then when you later on see the Saturn V kit, you can appreciate how big these rockets were. So that's the first sprue. This is the second sprue, which is more or less a duplicate of the first. As you can see, similar detail. Very nice with the rivets and stuff like that. So that's kind of cool. Very fine plastic. It's a very tough looking plastic, fairly solid. It'll be interesting to work with. I've heard very good things about these, so I'm really looking forward to it. And last is this one. Sorry, I should point out at the underside here, so there's some very fine parts here. So we'll see during the build how easily these come off the sprues, but I'm not anticipating any problems. It looks fairly crisp. Last but not least is the third sprue, which includes the base for the rocket, a good sized base there. The engine exhaust area, etc. Fine, very crisp casting. And one of the re-entry nose cone options, and there's some other ones there as well. So very, very nice. Good solid plastic here. Very nicely cast. Not much else to say. The exhaust vents there. Exhaust piping looks very nicely detailed. So we'll move on to the very excellent instructions, and again, they come separately wrapped. And we'll start with the decals. The decals were put in the instructions, and just the decals are a highlight. These are absolutely gorgeous. Again, microscale decals. And we'll just kind of go through. Hopefully the camera will show this up. Strategic Air Command, some beautiful stenciling. The decals look in very nice shape. An absolute ton of stenciling. You can see there. Full number set, so you can make whatever numbers you want. And again, they've got some of the different options there. But yeah, stenciling this will be fun. There's an absolute ton of stencils and things like that there. So really nice looking. Okay, moving on to the instructions. Fairly straightforward. As we say, it's a fairly simple build. Not a high part count, but you do get the full specs of the real thing. A nice little intro here. And as I said, used under license from Lockheed Martin. So let's open this up. So as I say, fairly simple part thing. There's a few little parts we have to open up here, a few little sections, very clearly marked. Some basic color selection to help you choose your colors. And then we've obviously got the main airframe assembly, the rear airframe assembly, a couple of options depending which one you're going to build. You have to figure that out. Because, for example, for option 2 and 3, it does give you some good tips about applying decals before attaching certain parts. Yeah, that could be rather annoying if you have to try and decal behind something. So good thinking on their part there. Moving on, step 4 includes the front. I'll zoom that up a bit. The front airframe assembly. And again, some little details here, depending on which one you're going to build. So here's the 3 payloads: the Mark II RV, the Mark III, and the Mark IV. And then the back end, the engine assemblies. And then, of course, the final assemblies. And again, I like these notes. Note the direction of the curved pipe when attaching the base to the missile. So again, just some tips where you might be not sure. They've tried to make it as clear as they can for you. And then stencils, lots of details on stencilings here. They even suggest, placing certain decals before other ones. Even note the direction of decal 3, which wraps around part B10. Cut into smaller sections to make placement easier. So this is something you're definitely probably going to paint up in sections and then do a combination of decal and painting. So definitely worth going through the full instructions here. Again, and then there's your 3 options with your different payloads. So as I say, we've got the Mark II, 3, and 4 payloads with the appropriate decal schemes. Tough call which one I'm going to build. I'm really undecided. I really like the Mark II with the SAC logo. It was the first SAC launched September 9th, 1959 at Vandenberg Air Force Base. Then there was also Operation New Nickel. It was an Atlas 101D, launched August 22nd, 1961 at Vandenberg. And then the third one is a Mark IV R&D test flight, Atlas 83D, launched November 15th, 1960 out of Cape Canaveral Launch Complex number 12. So again, you're getting quite a bit of history here. And then at the very back is just some of the standard warning things, a full sprue count. So again, 2 of the one type of sprue and sprue B. And it does mention there's 1 part per sprue that is not used. So keep that in mind. So you get a couple of extra spare parts. But yeah, this looks very, very good. I'm really looking forward to trying my hand at this one. So far, I'm liking what I'm seeing. Absolutely excellent looking castings, or injection molding, I should say. Again, I'll be curious to see how well this little thin bing goes. If there is a problem, it's probably more to my ham-fisted attempts, but we'll see what happens. But all in all, I'm very impressed with this. This should be a fun build. I won't say it's probably going to be a simple build, because again, you're going to have to kind of follow the instructions and figure out what you're going to do. But overall, another good thing from Horizon Models. And again, if you check out their website at horizon-models.com, they have a huge number of different ones. They've got a lot of good deals. So definitely worth checking out. And as I said, I'll do another review on the Mercury Redstone next time, and that looks just just as good. So that's it for this time from the Scale Model Podcast. Don't forget to check our page out at scalemodelpodcast.com, and where you can subscribe to our email list, which gets you an automatic email of all the new releases. As well, we have a Patreon page, patreon.com/Scale Model Podcast. And of course, you can find the podcast wherever you get your other fine quality podcasts. That's it for this time. I'm Stuart. Thank you, and be well.